Hey, it's Jorge with TeamJVS giving you another review recap of The Legend of Vox Machina Episode 3. And just to start off, like I did last episode, this will be spoiler filled. So once again, if you haven't seen it, it's on you at this point. If you want to keep viewing, I'm not going to tell you not to view, but I will tell you that spoilers are ahead. So this episode starts a little bit different. You start with this crazy flashback, and you kind of see a whole bunch of things happening. And then the flashback ends. You kind of get the little intro, and then Lady Aura reminds the team that there's this formal dinner coming along. And then while she's telling them this, I think it was Percy who was completely, telling everyone to, act normal, and, they'll be on their best behavior. And then you kind of see that two of the guys, the male guys, are like, one of them just nut shots the other. And they play a game called ball tag, which I thought was hilarious. And they're keeping track of everything. So you kind of start seeing that, and it's hilarious. So, they go from that, and you kind of start seeing, you get introduced to those two people at the end, who you end up finding out are Lady Blairwood, I believe was her name. And I forgot if the guy was a count or what he was, but, we'll just go with, Count Blairwood, because the dude's psycho. But you kind of find out that Percy's home was completely destroyed by these two individuals. He lives in a place, or he used to live in a place called Whitestone, and it shows how these individuals ended up killing everybody there, like viciously killing. So once they kind of find this out, and Percy is kind of just, you can kind of see all this turmoil that's going through, but the team doesn't really understand. So instantly, Vax and Vex kind of understand what's going on, and they know that they can kind of sneak away to kind of figure out what's going on. So Vax ends up doing this trick with his belt, where he throws his belt on the ground and it becomes a snake, to lure away the guards from it. And while he's there, he's able to break into the Briarwood's like room where they're staying, and he goes through their stuff. From there, he ends up, I guess, kind of finding this this book within one of their kind of like not treasures, but like clothes chests that they have. From there, they end up leaving, or he technically ends up getting caught, and kind of gets into this little war, with these two creatures. And you kind of see that both the lady and Duke or King, whatever, we're just calling them the Count, the Blairwoods, you see them just kind of teleport into the room, and instantly, like things start getting crazy. The neat part is that while this is happening, Percy is telling the whole team kind of like how the Blairwoods just destroyed their whole family. And at one point the team kind of understands that, okay, we gotta take care of this, and they need a distraction to remove themselves. So Scandalin, who's the bard, just starts playing music, and that's kind of how bards work. They have a way with words. So he's throwing on like a little performance, and the team basically starts working together to go against the Briarwoods. You kind of get this epic battle where you start kind of seeing everyone's true powers, and you kind of start seeing the magical element into this. So for example, during the fight, when Gorg, who is the barbarian, when he was fighting against Blairwood, and he pulls out like his greatsword and he cuts him with it, every time he got blood on it, the greatsword got a little bit bigger, which is definitely very cool. And then right before they were going to, at the end of the day, going to die, they get saved, and at that point, like, the Blairwoods completely escape. They run out of town and they start going. Percy is just on a different... You kind of start seeing that Percy may be a little bit more aligned to evil than good. And you kind of start seeing this new background of him kind of slowly piercing through. And he ends up getting like their carriage taker, like the guy who, you know, was driving them. And at the end of it was just like, pulls out his revolver and is asking them like, you know, where are they going? Like, what do you know? And the guy doesn't know, you know, looks like doesn't know anything. And he just shoots him, just blasts his arm, you know, completely off. And it ends with the whole Vox team getting arrested. And as they're getting arrested, obviously the Bard is still inside, you know, jamming out and all that. He comes out thinking that he just rocked the whole town and everything was great. And literally, it's as soon as he comes out, he kind of sees his whole team is completely just in handcuffs. And he's just like, ah. And that's kind of where the episode ends. I think this episode kind of set the stage up very well with the Briarwoods and then also like Percy's background. And just kind of seeing how the team kind of formed around Percy to get, you know, to show him that they have his back. And especially once all this kind of happened. Something that was seen in this episode was one of the characters, the only thing I can you know kind of say is their holy, you know, item is broken. And that I think is going to cause a huge issue moving forward. But yeah, so once again, this series is knocking it out the park. Highly recommended. Definitely want to hear what you guys are thinking now that this is out. I know the first 3 episodes are getting released simultaneously. So now that you're up to episode 3, you're caught up. Like, what do you think about it? Like, what do you think about the character? Which one's your favorite character? Which ones do you relate to the most? And where do you see this going? Like, where do you see, you know, this Vox team going? How do you see them against this, you know, this adversary of this, you know, basically vampire? And it is a vampire. I can say that now because they had a walking scene after the dinner, and you only saw the wife, and the husband was, you know, obviously vampires. You can't see them through the light, so you see that. But where do you see this going? Like, I love all these like little epic battles that they're showing, and you know how some of these players are getting healed, so how some are, you know, not getting healed. But definitely let me know what you think about it. Let me know, you know, what are your thoughts. But other than that, I'll see you after episode 4. So until next time, peace.